Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're harnessing our need for speed with some great racing games that you need to try. When compiling this list, I've looked for games that are still available to play today. However, I'm not including Gran Turismo, Forza Horizon or Mario Kart. I want to focus on other titles. So without further ado, let's get started. 10. Wipeout Omega Collection. We might never get another Wipeout game again, especially with its main developer having closed its doors. But if the Omega Collection is the last we'll see of this futuristic racer, then it's a powerful note to go out on. Collecting 3 remastered games in the series, the PS3's Wipeout HD and Fury HD, and the PS Vita's highly underrated Wipeout 2048, it's a package filled to the brim with exhilarating, fast-paced racing content, which looks absolutely spectacular even on the PlayStation 5, thanks to a blisteringly fast frame rate and art direction that never ages. Its thumping techno soundtrack only accentuates a bygone era of Sony history, and one that many fans are eager for the publisher to return to at some point. 9. Gravel. Gravel is an off-road racer game from Italian developers at Milestone that brings together ideas you might have seen in other titles like Forza Horizon and Dirt. It's a racing game that doesn't take itself too seriously and is easy to get used to. The only one issue you might find with this title is that it's too short. Despite that, Gravel is a lot of fun, offering an enjoyable arcade racing experience with oodles of sideways flair. It's well presented and has plenty of appeal for fans of single-player games that just want something that they can pick up and play without much of a learning curve. 8. Split Second. The BlackRock studio developed Split Second as one of the best premises in racing game history. Framed around a fictional reality television program where the in-game races compete for fame and big bucks, Split Second sees the contestants triggering environmental chaos using power moves known as power plays as they zip towards the finish line. You earn power play points by skillfully drafting, drifting and jumping. When at least one tier of the power play meter is filled, you can detonate particular pieces of the environment when a rival racer drives near them. It's immensely satisfying to discover that the helicopter that's been hovering overhead drops bombs on your opponent when you uncork a power play attack. Split Second's merger of arcade-style racing and huge environment-wrecking explosions form a thrilling racer that'll keep you hugging corners, jockeying for positions, and downing jumbo jets well into the night. 7. Grid Legends. A racing game with a story that has you playing as a driver plucked from nowhere who wants to climb the ranks to race for a team that is facing extinction, it mixes real-life actors and gameplay in its cutscenes. Never does it feel jarring or out of place, and the actors are good enough to make you feel like a part of the narrative. Granted, it isn't the most gripping of stories, and there are a fair few cliches. However, it's enjoyable enough to make you want to succeed and complete each chapter's challenge. Regardless of the race, Grid Legends feels amazing to play. From the start of the race to the end, the thrills never end. It welcomes newcomers with its arcade style of race and has plenty of variables and settings for those hardcore racers. Driven to Glory is a great addition, if a little obvious. The career mode offers plenty of progression and opportunities to earn coins to buy new cars. The race creator has some legs, but it might not appeal to those who enjoy adding bends, ramps and straights in specific positions instead of pre-selected tracks. It's a beautiful and stylish racer that many will spend tons of hours taking in the sights and having a great time behind the wheel of loads of vehicles. 6. Wreckfest. Wreckfest, originally titled Next Car Game, was finally released in 2018 after 4 long years of Steam Early Access development. Wreckfest's engine uses soft body damage modeling, which increases the realism in the driving and sometimes has the fantastic side effect of bending your car into shapes you didn't think possible. Wreckfest is all about options. You can customize your cars, from switching out different engines and bumpers to maximizing your effectiveness in the large variety of different races. Speaking of races, some of them would be the usual types, with 3 laps where 16 cars battle for the top spot, but others take the term battle to a completely different level. The demolition derbies, for example, could require specific types of cars, or at their best, a lawnmower. There are many kinds of competitions to enter based on the type of car needed or how many laps you're required. You know, like a racing game, ranging from the expected 12 to 16 car races to trying to stay alive as the only small car surrounded by no less than 23 school buses fighting for dominance. Each championship has a different selection of races, which makes unlocking the next one exciting. And if you're enjoying this video so far, let me know by hitting that like button. 5. Dirt Rally 2.0. Although Dirt 2 is arguably the best in the series, it is a 2009 title and is no longer available on current-gen consoles. So instead, I went for the second best, Dirt Rally 2.0. Known for being a bit more tough, Dirt Rally 2.0 was designed primarily for hard-boiled rally enthusiasts and returning fans, so new players might struggle initially. There is no tutorial in the game to help you in the beginning, so it's a case of learn on the job or perish. Following on from its predecessor, Dirt Rally 2.0 is the pinnacle of rally games. The simulation handling is brutal, but lots of fun to learn and brilliantly satisfying to conquer. The raw driving experience is highly intense as you travel at insane speeds, always verging on disaster. While it's missing some of the more casual-friendly features of Dirt 4, the suite of modes and options will keep any rally fan going on for a long time. Even if the sim labelled puts you off, I'd encourage you to take this for a test drive. It's easily one of the most thrilling racing games in recent years. 4. Midnight Club Los Angeles. Developed and published by Rockstar, Midnight Club Los Angeles is the fourth and last installment in the series. As with most street racing games, you drive around in the city looking for people to race. When you find someone, you flash your lights, and in most cases, race to the starting line. There are time trials, checkpoint races around the city, freeway races, and races from point A to point B. Pretty standard stuff for the genre. There's a bit of a story, but it's the bare minimum to get you in a car to race around the streets of LA. And it's quite a version of LA. The game has a day/night cycle, so you're not stuck racing at one time of the day the whole time. You won't just race in sunshine either. Some days are cloudy, and every once in a while the clouds unleash torrents of rain. Day or night, rain or shine, the city looks fantastic, and the highly praised soundtrack brings the atmosphere to a whole new level. 3. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged isn't all that different from its predecessor, but it's a bit bigger and better in just about every way. A brand new range of environments and additional vehicle types helps to keep things feeling relatively fresh, and new event types are also very much welcome. It's the new moves at your disposal that really elevate the experience though. Being able to jump has allowed Milestone to get even more creative when it comes to track design, and it also adds yet more depth. You have to think more about how to use your boost, so from that point of view, this is a very worthy sequel. 2. Assetto Corsa. If you're looking to get more into sim racing, then there's no better game to start with than Assetto Corsa. And even if you are a sim racing veteran, you should still play this one. It is probably one of the most beginner-friendly sims you will get out there, allowing you to turn on or off the assists and fine-tune them to your liking, making the experience far more enjoyable than your run-of-the-mill standard sim racing game. The game also has a huge modding community, which continues to be very active, releasing new content all the time. Keep in mind that the first version of the game was released back in 2014, so it has been 10 years of constant changes and additions to Assetto Corsa, which turned this title from an okay one at launch to an amazing sim racing game today. The physics in this game are absolutely astonishing. I assure you, you will never have so much fun driving in any other game. 1. Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. This is quite a jump from Assetto Corsa, but Crash Team Racing does have something the previous game didn't have prior to its release: a history and a fan base. Crash Bandicoot is a beloved franchise that has been around since 1996, and the first racing game in the series had such an impact on fans and newbies alike that they had to remake the game in 2019. Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled is a thrilling ride that keeps the excellent original game intact while adding some quality-of-life updates, such as an improved HUD and obligatory modern trappings such as unlockable cosmetics. Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled's difficulty, memorable track design and addictive power slide mechanic make it a kart racer worth playing, especially competitively. Overall, a new HUD, cosmetic options, and the ability to swap characters during the campaign mean there's simply no contest between playing this and the 1999 original. And while all the titles I've mentioned so far are still available to play on current-gen consoles, I couldn't make this video and not talk about a few honourable mentions, which unfortunately are not available on the PS5 and Xbox Series X or S, but are still amazing racing games. Burnout 3 Takedown, a game that is now over 20 years old but still holds very well. Unfortunately, you can't get it on Steam nowadays, but if you have a PS2 or Xbox 360, or even the OG Xbox laying around, you should definitely try it. Blur, an arcade-style racing game released for the PS3 and Xbox 360. If you do happen to have a copy of this game and you want to play, the servers are still active, albeit quite rusty, and you can still find people to play with on Reddit. Need for Speed Most Wanted, the 2005 game. This seems to be a favourite among fans, and a personal favourite of mine too of the franchise. And to be honest, what isn't there to love? What it might lack in graphics from a modern perspective, it scores with absolute brilliant gameplay. The sense of speed, the chases, and even the races feel absolutely great, and the whole thing is accompanied by an absolutely brilliant and fitting soundtrack. And that concludes my list of great racing games you need to try. What other titles did you play and enjoyed? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you enjoy gaming content, be sure to check out the videos linked on screen.